Hello everyone. As you know, as you have understood the functional and non-functional testing, now we'll move to the other testing. So now regression testing and retesting. First, I'll explain you what is retesting. Then you will get a proper understanding of regression testing. Then we'll see the compatibility testing. Okay. See, what is retesting? Verification of specific fixed issue to ensure it has been successfully resolved. So what they were saying in retesting, if you have raised any issue in retesting, we just check whether the issue has fixed successfully or not. So we are not validating any other scenarios here. We just check whether the issue, whatever you have raised, that issue has been properly fixed or not. Okay. Now let's take an example. Guys, look at here. Here in LKA, lane keeping assistance, assume there are three test cases. So the first test case is engage LKA on straight road to ensure it still keeps the vehicle centered. So now we are validating the lane keeping assistance on a straight road and we are checking whether our vehicle is going in the middle of the lane or not. Now when it comes to the second test case, test LK in different environmental conditions like in how the lane keeping assistance is functioning in sunlight and how it is functioning in night and how it is functioning in clear or in rainy weather, how exactly this lane keeping assistance is functioning in a different environmental conditions, that also we are checking here. Now when it comes to third test case, engage LKA during regular lane changes to check responsiveness. Okay, so let's assume if your vehicle is moving on to the next lane, then how your vehicle is responding to that. If you are going to change the lane of your vehicle, how your vehicle is responding to that particular lane changes. That we are checking at the third test case. Now guys, first test case we have validated it is working properly, and second test case we have validated this is also working properly. Now when it comes to third test case, our vehicle is not responding properly when there are regular lane changes. Let's assume if you are moving to the right lane, okay, your vehicle should give you a warning saying that your vehicle is going on to the right lane. Okay, so now whenever your vehicle is moving on to the right lane, that time you should get the warning immediately. But what is happening? Your vehicle is triggering the warning after 5 seconds. Let's say if you take your vehicle to the right lane, immediately the warning should appear on the dashboard, right? Now you can't see warning immediately on the dashboard, but you can see warning after 5 seconds or after 10 seconds. So the responsiveness of the warning is not proper. Okay, just assume in that way. So here the third test case is whenever you are changing the lane or whenever you are moving on to the right or left lane, it is not giving proper warning in the cluster saying that your vehicle is moving on to right lane. Okay, it's giving the warning, but the thing is the responsiveness of the warning is something different. That tester has observed and he has raised this particular bug to the developer. Now developer has successfully fixes the bug. After fixing the bug, in retesting, what we do, now tester needs to validate this bug has fixed properly or not. What we validate? We validate only that particular bug has fixed properly or not. Assume the test scenario is focus is to verify specifically the scenario of sudden lane changes and check the issue reported has been addressed successfully. The issue, whatever you have reported, that issue has been addressed properly or not, that we are checking. So here, after executing these three test cases, you understood that two test cases are working properly, but third test case has an issue. Now, after fixing this particular bug, as part of retesting, you need to validate only third test case and you need to check whether the third test case has been fixed or not. So here in test scenario, you are engaging the lane keeping assistance during regular lane changes and checking the responsiveness. Okay, the responsiveness will be in different ways, but let's take a warning as an example. So the engaging lane keeping assistance during regular lane changes and check the responsiveness. So there are three test cases you have executed. Two test cases are working properly. Third test case has an issue. Now you are just verifying that the third test case issue, this issue has been properly fixed or not. If this is properly fixed, then your retesting is done. Okay. Now, what is regression testing? Verification of the overall application workflow to ensure that recent changes have not caused unintended issues elsewhere in the system. So, here the lane keeping assistance has these three test cases. Now, if you execute these three test cases, the third test case has an issue. Now, developer has did some changes in the code, okay, and he has fixed the last issue, third test case issue. Now you did retest and you have confirmed that the last test case is properly fixed. Now, guys, because of this bug fix, because of the changes in the code, okay, this bug fix code changes shall not affect the other functionalities. Okay, so only lane changes responsiveness code has been changed, but this particular modified code shall not affect the other two functionalities. Okay, in regression testing, what we do after fixing the bug, after performing the retest on that particular bug, in regression test, we need to validate all the three features. Okay. So example regression test cases for LKA. So here you need to check whether lane keeping assistance on straight road is working properly or not. Lane keeping assistance is working in different environmental conditions or not. Then again you need to verify the regular lane changes responsiveness is proper or not. Why we are doing regression testing? Because if something has been modified in the code, that modifications should not affect the other functionalities. Because of that, we need to execute the three test cases. This particular bug fix has not affected any of these two functionalities. Only to ensure other functionalities has not got affected because of this code changes or this bug fix, we do the regression testing. Okay, so this is about retesting and regression testing. Now, let's move to the compatibility testing. This, what is compatibility testing? Compatibility testing is a type of software testing that evaluates the compatibility of the software application or system with various operating systems, browsers, devices, databases, network environments, and other platforms. Guys, if you take normal testing example, let's assume we have developed a Facebook application. Now, this Facebook application shall work in Google Chrome, and it shall work in Edge, and it shall work in Firefox, and it shall work in Explorer, right? So here one software application we are checking at different platforms, okay, in different browsers we are checking, and here we are checking the compatibility of the software application. Here we are validating the compatibility of the Facebook software application in different browsers. Okay, now how this particular Facebook application is operating in Linux and how this particular Facebook is working in Windows, these things also we need to check. But when it comes to automotive, we normally perform the environmental compatibility test. Okay, so we may not do the compatibility test in different ECUs. Okay, same software you can flash it in different ECUs and you can check. Okay, but normally what we do is we do environmental compatibility check. So what is environmental compatibility check? Let's assume guys in ADAS you are working for a radar project. Now, how the radar ECU is functioning at different temperatures, like how it is functioning at high temperature and how it is functioning at low temperature, and if the temperature is moderate, how it is functioning. We will validate radar functionality at different temperature conditions, and we validate the radar in different road conditions. So normally in automotive, we majorly do the environmental compatibility test, how our particular radar is working or how our particular radar is functioning at different environmental conditions. So in different road conditions, how it is functioning, and in different temperature conditions, how it is working. All these things we will check in the compatibility test. Okay. Okay. So guys, as part of testing techniques part 2, I have explained what is retesting and regression testing. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.